Hi guys, Blake here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Wednesday the 5th of May and I have my friend Anthony here with me today and we're going to do the one cast for you. Let me scoot this back a little bit. So today Anthony and I have boated up here. We are setting at the furthest point that you can come up behind Eagle Island, and we're gonna get jiggy with it today. I'm got an 1/8 ounce Lilley's white jig with a red collar here. That's on 2-pound line, and Anthony is going to be throwing an 1/8 ounce sculpin feathers, sculpin head. And I think he's got 4-pound line on that rod there. Let's see. Beautiful day here on the lake. All that rain passed through. It kind of ended yesterday evening before sunset. And we got, I don't know, maybe 70 something degrees here today. They are still running 3 generators and 5 floodgates for a total of 15,000 CFS. Oh, spot lock kind of got off course there. Found a log. All right, nothing officially on the first cast. It's about, maybe just a touch past 11 o'clock in the morning right now. We've actually been on the lake since about 8:30 this morning fishing. We've been dragging scuds and egg flies and San Juan worms this morning. Anywhere from the big hole up at the dam all the way down here to the narrows. The scud kind of reigned supreme today. We did catch 3 or 4 fish on a pink San Juan worm, which was interesting because I hadn't tried a San Juan worm recently. But the San Juan worm was working, but not better than the scud. We were using a size 12 gray scud with a red collar. Those were the scuds that are tied on the 200R hooks. They're a little bit longer shanked looking. They kind of give off a bigger profile. And they were definitely working the best. And I'd say the best area that we fished in was, Anthony's hooked up on the sculpin. I was thinking maybe the white would work. We did see some shad today. Not very many, but we did see a few shad in the water. You have to bring that fish up here to me. The trolling motor's coming out of the water. Alright. And he popped off the hook. Come here, little buddy. Anthony, step in the picture there and I'll hold the fish in front of you. He'll be right there. All right. I'm glad Anthony came along today to show us what a fish looked like. I'd still say that from the cable, or not from the cable, from Andy Williams's house down to the narrows was probably the thickest amount of fish that we found. There was a fish. But we did catch some from the big hole kind of down to the boat ramp, and we caught some on the shallow side right behind that big sycamore that's down in the water up by the dam. We found some right in there too, all the way past Trophy Run Island. Dwayne had a trip this morning. He was out fishing, and they were dragging the scuds as well. He said that the scuds were working the best for him, but they were throwing some shad flies up by right from the cable down to kind of outlet 3. He said they were finding a few fish doing that, but he said they weren't really biting the shad pattern after outlet 3. So kind of just right up there by the dams tells me that they might be seeing a few shad here and there, but not enough to keep them coming all the way down the lake for them. For the most part, I think everybody up in the trophy area today has been concentrating on the scuds, and they are biting them very well. We certainly caught our fair share this morning. And so when you come up back behind here right now, there's enough water to definitely drive up to this log jam. And you need to be careful though. It's not very wide in here, so you've got to really pay attention to your surroundings and be prepared to lose a lot of jigs. There is a lot of log structure underneath here. Those fish are kind of hanging out in that log structure. Either that or in these little pockets where the current's not going as fast. Oh, there was one. Dang it. But it can be a real fun place to catch fish at. These fish don't see quite as many people back here, and I think that they set kind of back in behind here on that log jam, and they wait for food to come floating past them. If you have a big trolling motor with spot lock on it, that's helpful. Otherwise, you just need to kind of set down and feather your trolling motor the whole time out and keep looking behind you, make sure you're not running into anything. Levi came back in here yesterday morning and said he did real well. He might have sore lipped all my fish in here. Oh, and I found my first log jam. Well, while I'm sitting here retying, Anthony, if you want to come up here, Anthony had a cool story. He just recently landed the state record long-nosed gar. Is that right, Anthony? Long-nosed gar, and it actually comes with a really neat story, so I'll have him come up here and stand by me and tell us a little bit about that. Oh, point that. There we go.
I guess it was like 30 years ago I met a guy down at Taneycomo, down at Power Site Dam, and back then I was a young man and met this guy. We didn't really talk to people much back then. He didn't talk to people and I didn't either, and we just kind of met and become friends, and next thing you know, it led to one thing to another, and we become lifelong friends. And of course he was older than me, and got sick and was on hospice care, and went to see him. And my last visit, he kind of visited with him for a while, and me and Cindy, and as I started to walk out, he looked at me and he kind of gave me a smile, kind of reminded me of a gar. He just stared at me and watched me walk out out of his house, and I knew, and he knew, that'd be the last time I seen him. And a couple of days later, got a phone call, 5:30 in the morning, and his wife had told me he had passed, and she had said, you know, he passed away, and told me to get back with me on arrangements. And one of her last things she said, it was, Anthony, could you go out and catch a fish in Jim's name? His name was James Bryant. And I said, yeah, I sure can. Well, I went out with Cindy, and she spotted this gar on a grab, and we went after it. We chased it for a little bit, and finally we got it to bite, and got it in, got wrapped up in a trolling motor. She got it loose from that, and then we finally got it in the boat, and she tied it off and all that, and we had it on the side of the boat, and we went back to crappie fishing. And I said to her, I said, Cindy, I think that might be a state record. Well, she looked on her phone, and we're like, well, that might be close. And well, we waited, and we're like, yeah, we think it's a state record. Well, we took it to Shepherd Hills, and we broke the state record by almost 6 pounds.
And how big and long was it?
It was 5 foot 2 inches, had a 20-inch girth, I believe, and it weighed 32 pounds and 10 ounces.
My goodness. Well, it's just an amazing story, and just makes you wonder, you know, gives you goosebumps.
Yes, it does.
Whenever something adds up like that. But so anyway, they just recently landed the state record long nose. And your wife Cindy is you guys do guide services up on Table Rock for spoonbill. She does the spoonbill services up on Table Rock, and it's Sinbad.
Correct.
Sinbad Guide Services. There's so much structure in there. Usually I like to wear my sunglasses when I... Oh, Anthony's on top of them today. Here, come up here to the front of the boat. All right, they might be liking that sculpin a little better than my white jig today. Oh, you're good. I could probably just land him. There's another one. Anthony 2, me 0. All right.
How about you just catch a state record trout?
He's looking for the state record trout back here. You know, this is the kind of spot where one might just hang out all the time. You got good structure. I imagine quite a bit of food comes through that little channel up there where the island splits. And I don't know, it just looks like one of those areas where a monster fish would be. It really does. But normally I like to wear my sunglasses when I come back here. I forgot them before I left the truck today. And I like to just kind of watch my jig over the top of that structure, because 9 times out of 10 back here, you'll get that jig real close to one of them logs down there, and then boom, they come out right from underneath and nail it. But the fishing has definitely been real good lately. If you're coming, oh, I just lost another one. Alright, 2 jigs down for me. And I think I might switch to a different color, since I haven't really caught anything on white yet. Tell you what, we're gonna go with a tri-olive, which is something I haven't used in a while. This is the tri-olive dark. We have a few different tri-olives. We have a light and a dark. That one's the dark. And usually on bright sunny days, the tri-olive's hard to beat. As you come down through here, so that first section we started in has the big log jam, and then there's kind of a cutout in the bank, and you'll come past this little narrower passageway, and then it'll come to another cutout, and we're going to try to focus a little bit more on this next cutout. We actually saw a few fish hanging out as we went past this earlier. But any of these cutouts, and usually there's some fish laying along the edge of them. Oh, there's a big boy right there. Spot lock right here for a second. Ooh, that's a nice trout there. Sometimes you can sight fish these trout, but you got to throw your line above them and let that bait drift to them. If you try to throw on top of them, they'll usually spook away. He doesn't look like he wants anything to do with me right now. That log wanted something to do with me though. Like I said, be prepared to spend some money if you come back in here jig fishing. It's just one of those spots. Normally, when I plan on coming back in here, I tie up about 5 or 6 rods ready to go. But we've been fishing the scuds today, so that's all what all the rods are rigged up to do. Tell you what, we'll try a brown and orange with a brown head here. Get him. Okay. Careful, you got a log, right? Or a tree limb right above your head there. We are getting towards the middle of the day now, so probably would have been more ideal to come back in here first thing this morning before the sun got up real high. Got another one? Oh, that looks like a big one. I'll put the action on you right here. She just stepped down in front of that tackle box. Oh yeah. Alright, maybe I should have just tied on that sculpin jig. That is what they're liking.
Seen him follow it. I didn't think he was going to take it. Come back.
That's a good fish there. Nope, nope. Got him. All right. There is a very nice, hold still, buddy. Very nice rainbow. Okay, well, I think that tells me what I need to do. It's hard to argue with results. So I am going to tie on an all sculpin jig. Okay. We've seen quite a few fish being clean that have actually just a ton of sculpin fish in their mouth. So I don't know if the floodgates get the sculpin moving around a little more. Maybe it keeps them from being able to hide as well. But I do know I've seen multiple fish cleaned in the last few days that have just been loaded, bellies full of sculpins. Miss him? Had another swing and a miss back there. Anthony is dialed in. Oop, I think I had a swing and a miss. Oh, did you? Oh, that was a tree limb. I was about to say, man, that sounded like a big fish. But if I'm ever struggling to find some fish out on the lake, I like to come back here behind Eagle Island, and you don't even have to come back in this far, but if the water's running real fast and the fish need somewhere to take a break from, sometimes they like to come back here. Well, we fish kind of down to where it gets wider here, so I think we're going to call it a day. But we thank you guys for watching. I'm glad Anthony came to show me how to catch a fish today. And we'll get out here and do it for you again tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching.